WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have something called Fairy Cask. So let's take a look and see if we can see this here. Okay, do you see the little fairy here? It's a little bit difficult with the gold. There we can see that. The Fairy Cask there. So we have this fairy on this cask flying through the air. So it's a Fairy Cask. Now this was actually the brainchild of Mareike Spitzer. She is the founder of www.irish-whiskies, EYS.de, DE for Deutschland, which is Germany. And her original line of independent bottlings looked like this. They're called Black Rock. So we also have the same gold label, but up here black. What it should do is to show the rough, the rugged, the solidness of Irish whiskeys, because usually we think of Irish whiskeys, it's like soft and mild and silky. And these are all cask strength, single cask editions. This is a 13-year-old grain. This is batch number 8. I did my German whiskey video about this. There will not be an English video, I'm sorry, but this is originally what she did. Now, she wanted to start doing some finishings, and her whole ethos was about these only single cask, pure from the cask, stop. And so she needed a new label, Fairy Cask. So her first Fairy Cask was this. I actually have a video about this online. This is her Irish single cask whiskey. This was a heavily peated single malt whiskey from a bourbon and a rum cask. And this was actually bottled in 2020, distilled 2016, so almost 4 years old. There was 510 bottles of this, and this was 59.4%. This, on the other hand, is fairly young. This was distilled in 2019, and it was bottled 2021. So, I'm absolutely wrong. It was distilled 2009. Wow, I cannot read my own writing here. All right, 2009. So this is actually a 13-year-old whiskey. All right, interesting. My German video was wrong. I read 2019. So 2009. So this is 12 years old or 11 years old. Very, very nice. And this is a bourbon cask and a port cask, I'm going to say finish. You can actually see that port there. Look at that redness there. 54.5%. That explains the lower ABV. And this is non-chilled filtered, no color added, and it's bottled for Irish-whiskies.de. So I have bottle number 66 of 372. All right, very, very good. I might have to redo my video in English or in German. I read 2019, not 2009. All right, very good. 79.90 €. Very, very interesting. So I always have my problems if it's a blended whiskey from a single cask. So blended means that there's actually single malt, single pot still, as in the case in Ireland, or also grain whiskey. So the first two are made on pot stills, and the third is made on a column still. So column still would mean it's not necessarily barley, but probably either wheat or corn, and what's common in Ireland is wheat. So wheated whiskeys, which is not actually always true. The Royal Oak Distillery uses corn. And the North British Distillery in Scotland uses corn as well. So it doesn't always have to be wheat. All right, so what I'm going to compare it to is this bottle here, which is also a special edition from Mareike Spitzer from www.irish-whiskies.de. And this is her Irish Whiskey Wochenende weekend. So what she did is she actually did an entire weekend, a Saturday and Sunday, where she brought in 13 different distilleries. On the one day it was 6, on the other day it was 7, exactly 13 different distilleries, and did a 1 hour or 45-minute show with each and every one of them. And she had actually a special bottling just for this event. And this was a single grain whiskey that was originally in virgin oak and then in recharred casks. This is single grain at 63.9%. For me, this is like Black Bush on steroids. If you like Black Bush with this little bit of that black moment in there, this is to the level 5. I really, really, really enjoy this whiskey. I don't know why. Flavor profile and mouthfeel. But I really do. This was €45.90. This is basically 80 euros, so you get almost 2 of these for 1 of these. This is literally barely, this is 3 years old, 3.5 years old, and this is almost, as I said, 2009 to 2021, so 11 to 12 years old. Even if you look at the colors here, you have here the nice red hue, and you have here the brown hue. You really see what they're going for. On the nose, I do get the barrel char still. I get the same moment as I do over here, but I get a little bit of a raspberry with vanilla sauce on top of it. Not bad, not bad. 54.5. Now, I must admit, every time I've tried this whiskey, and this is the 4th time I've tried it now, it gets a little bit better. So either it's the neck pour moment, or it's me, or it's the whiskey opening up. I don't know what. The very first time I did not like it. The second time it was like, oh, that's, I don't know. The third time it was like, oh, there's a lot here. And now I'm going, oh, wow. Sometimes a whiskey needs to grow on you. And this is one of my biggest problems I have with my whiskey reviews, that I actually open them up to the whiskey and then share the bottle, and that was it. I don't have the privilege or the luxury of many, many other whiskey drinkers to just spend time with the bottle. Ralphie is 1 bottle a week, and he actually can go down to the neck pour and spend a few days with it and so on. I'm doing at least in Germany, I'm doing a whiskey a day. And I've been doing this now for 3 years, and I just can't do this much whiskey every day. Not going to happen and should not happen. All right, so over here, lovely, lovely wooden, black Bushmills Extreme. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, but we're here to do the Fairy Cask. Fairy Cask number 2. There will probably be number 3, 5. She's gone all the way up to Black Rock number 8, so let's see how far she gets with her Fairy Cask. These are a hit, and we actually want more and more of these whiskeys at the moment. It used to be, and I'm talking about 5 years ago, 5 years ago, we used to have bourbon cask. And then we might have had maybe a little bit of sherry, yay. And then that was, I mean, we've always had Macallan sherry and so on. But how many whiskeys do we have today with our Mescal and our Port and our Muscatel and our gin and our whatever else we have here? Port and Bordeaux and wine and all these other things. In the last 10 years, there's been an explosion, literally, of all these cask finishings. And in order to meet up with demand from her, for her customers, she needed to do this. All right, so now the price for this at that age is not really that bad, honestly. Cheers. In spite of its age, it's still hot. It's still a little bit young. It tastes young. It might not be young, but it tastes young. And now at the end, what I really have is a lot of fighting going on. We have the fruitiness trying to fight the woodiness. And neither of them win. So in the 1 second, oh, it's fruity. And the next second, oh, no, it's woody. Now it's fruity. Now it's woody. The 54.5% are okay. But to be honest, bring it down to like 48% is where this shines a little bit more. Yep, even on the nose, it's a little bit better that way. My mouth finds it hard to believe that this is a 11-year-old whiskey. It tastes still fairly even younger. There's a spirity type of moment to this, and the spirity type of moment has been overpowered by that port finish. I have a cask, and I'm going to buy a second cask soon here in Ireland, and we're going to do a full maturation in port casks. imagine in Irish whiskey 8 years or maybe even 10 years, maybe only 7, we'll find out, that has been fully matured in a port cask. This is not my wheelhouse. All right. A is why haven't you bought it? B is buy it. C, you can buy it if you want. D, you don't need to buy it. And F is why was it even made? This is a C minus minus D plus plus whiskey for me. D is a little harsh. It's a C minus minus whiskey. Value for money, D. All right, 70, 80 euros. I can get a Tullamodu 18-year-old over here for exactly 80 euros at the moment. Would I rather prefer an 18-year-old single malt from 4 different casks? Yes. Would I rather prefer this? Yes. This has a bouquet of very dark brown aromas. Got some brown sugar. You got some brown wood. You've got some almost a little bit of brown leather. It's very, very, very nice. Beige tones. A little bit of fresh barn wood. As if, and this is a good thing, I don't know if you've ever been in a barn. If you've been in the barn in the summer where the sun beats down on that wood in that barn for the whole day. And that's what this actually smells like a little bit for me. I was transformed back. I was 8, 9 years, 10 years old in my grandfather's barn before it burnt down. And exactly that smell is what I got. A little bit of a dusty barn wood smell. No animals, just hay and straw. Maybe a horse around the corner. I like the 63.9%. It gives a little bit of a wham, but then it just, very, very nice. I really like, I'm sure other people will like. The day before Easter, the day before Good Friday, we'll be actually doing a whiskey tasting, Marek and I, together with 45 other people here in Germany online on my YouTube channel, and we will actually have this also in the lineup. Total of 6 different of her whiskeys. It's going to be a very, very nice evening. It's going to be an amazing time together. And I'm sure there's going to be people that try this for the first time and go, wow, this is what I've always been waiting for all my life. WhiskyJason kind of says, nah, it's okay, but it's not the wow whiskey that I've been waiting for all my life. So it's C minus whiskey, and the value for money is D. Question of the day is, what other port finished whiskeys have you had that were very good? Port finish or port matured? My first thing that pops to mind is Taliska Port Re. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And the next one that pops to mind is, what else was port finished? Clonakilty. Batch 1. That was really very dark red, almost too dark. They actually got a little bit of trouble that it was so dark. But that was just using very fresh casks. And that was very, 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 very good whiskey there from Clonakilty. All right, with a port finish. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, tell others, maybe even share this video. This is a very rare bottle. This is a Germany exclusive. This is 371 bottles worldwide. You might see one day in a auction. So make sure Ferry Cask number 2. This is the port, and this is Ferry Cask number 1 with the heavily peated. So everything's always going to be finished. This was rum cask. This is port cask. Thank you very much for watching. Share, tell others, and all the best until soon. Bye-bye.